Hello and welcome to Embrace Eternity podcast, hosted by myself, Becca, and Cassi. Today we talk about Mass Effect Andromeda in general, our hopes, our dreams, eventually leading to future episodes about more specific topics about Andromeda. Join us and embrace eternity. Yeah, it's just him and his son. Apparently, they're the only Drell that exist.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, they're the ones that...
I know.
But anyway, I'm here for the aliens is all I'm trying to express. So the first thing,
I mean, I have...
Do you You have a lot? We'll just trade off. Whoever goes first. Okay. You can go first.
Okay. So, I mean... We're mostly talking about hopes and dreams, right? Like, stuff we want, like hoop dreams, doesn't have to be realistic. So,
Well, and I've got a lot to say just in general about the things I've seen.
Yeah, of course.
But for sure, we can talk about hopes and dreams first, because I know you have a lot more of those than I do. I'm just happy when it's not terrible.
See, I wanna get excited and then be completely decimated.
No, we should disclose. We should have started this by saying, hey, listen, we're setting our expectations for ourselves. The bar is so low. So just like bring your bar down. And then if it's even like above that bar, that'll be a win. So I'm just saying, keep everything low. I mean, that's my saying these days.
Yeah.
So we'll do the best we can. And
we were posting stuff and I just kept being like, God, I hope we don't disappoint them. Like sinking into myself.
I disappoint myself. So that's a whole other issue that we're not here for.
Yeah,
no.
Okay. Well,
hopes and dreams. What are your... Hold on. Okay.
Yes.
What are your hopes and dreams for Mass Effect Andromeda?
Okay, well, this is my number one. Like, in, the deepest corners of my heart, this is what I've been hoping for ever since I found out that he does voice acting, which you already know, and Taylor already knows. I feel like anybody who's talked to me in person knows, but I want Steven Yeun to be a VA in Andromeda so bad.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Like, I don't care what he is. He could be, if he's human, I might even romance him. Like, I'm saying, like, I would totally do it. But, like, I'm just saying, like, normally any human that comes on Mass Effect, I'm always like, I'm sorry, it's just probably not going to happen. Like, you're not interesting enough.
Okay. Well, then I guess I will say one, because I feel like I don't have enough, so I'm just going to let you go on after this. A hope and dream would be that we don't see... I guess I'm going for... Although yours isn't purely romance, you're just saying you want, a voice actor.
Oh, yeah, he could honestly be, like, a side character, and it would be one of those things where it's like, you're my favorite, I don't care about anyone else, you're it. I picked you.
Then I guess my thing, it's pretty vague, but I think a lot of people are hoping for it, is that there is a middle ground for women who want to romance women in between someone like Sarah and someone like Josephine, because I think they're very obviously at the polar opposite ends of, personality. And I love Josephine and I love Sarah, but I would like somebody who is kind of a happy medium, So I just think they tend to do some very, like, Josephine obviously is very prim and sweet, and she has a lot of other things too. I'm not going to just call her that, but then obviously Sarah is really wild and out there and intense at times. So I just kind of like someone who, I want them not to go for the extremes, because I feel like what Mass Effect does, and Dragon Age to some extent is they're better. Mass Effect, I'm going to say, is better at the subtleties, And I think if they had had more time, we would have seen that. And I'm hoping that the team in this game is just a little more subtle, Like they did express that right about at one point about being like, yeah, we want it to be a little smoother. We don't want it to be. They're taking more time and more natural or something. Remember that comment or whatever?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, just having something a little bit that feels a little not so a caricature of what that should be, and not a repeat of some things that you got when you played Sarah's Romance, like I'm not gonna say the words on here. I think it's too soon to say pubic hair shaving.
Is it?
Is it too soon?
Is it too soon? I don't think so.
Is it too soon?
No, it's
what did
never
Vivian
too
say?
soon. Come on.
What was the direct quote from Vivian when she was like, shave something, because they were talking to her about what to get Sarah, and I forget that direct quote she said, but I've never been the same since she said it, because I was just like, so and obviously I would prefer they would be written by women, but that's just my hope.
Yeah.
My hope. So mine's a bigger hope, like a broader hope, but
mine's very specific.
I'm really liking the Liara Mass Effect 3 romance though, so I'm hoping that it continues to be, not like Dragon Age in that respect. So sorry, Dragon Age, I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that a lot of characters in Dragon Age especially feel like this is this person and this is their one core value and that's it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, that's great.
Sarah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
She's wacky.
But it's like,
Josephine, she's sweet and uptight.
And that's it.
I don't know what voice that was. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, not to say that doesn't happen in Mass Effect, because it totally does. It totally does. But
Kasumi, I always go to talk to Kasumi, and we can never talk, and I'm so fucking disappointed. Okay, so you want Steven Yeun is his name? I never remember. Okay, I love him.
He plays Glenn on Walking Dead, for those of you who do not know, which I can't imagine you don't, unless you, like, just...
He's adorable. He's a sweet, sweet baby prince.
I mean, he does voice acting, so it's not like I'm just, like, taking it out of left field. He's been in, Avatar or Korra? I can't remember which, and then he's in Voltron. So, I mean, I feel like it's not me being just, like, stupid.
Mine's probably more likely to happen. However, yours would be really awesome, and I'd be so happy for you.
I would be so happy for me, too. Okay. So another thing that I really want, which is, I think, probably gonna happen, like, I can't imagine them not using it, but Taylor, my best friend, she sent me a few audio files by Sam Hulick? I don't know. He did the soundtracks, or he did a bunch of work on the soundtracks for the trilogy. And she sent me 2 of them, and she was like, do you think these are going to be on Andromeda? And I was like, well, I hope so. They're both really good. But I just really hope that he's involved with the soundtrack again, because, I mean, he made so many good songs, like I Was Lost Without You, and I can't remember the others, but just good, all around good. Oh, wait, it's from 2015, so maybe not.
The music is important. I think I saw a tweet about that the other day, about, like, when we're going to hear it. I don't know. Mac teasing again, Mac Walters. So, another hope and dream. All mine are romance related, so I'm trying to get something in there that isn't romance, but you know what? I'm just going to go with who I am.
Embrace
and
it.
Say that, yeah, I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with that I hope there's, like, if these romances are more natural feeling, that they give options with most people to have, like, a sort of date, you know what I mean? Because I think that would be interesting. This is just a dating sim, people. No, I'm kidding. It kind of is for some people, but not entirely, but it's definitely a thing that's important to me. So I want, like, casual, cute dates, like really longer than the Gare shooting thing, which is not much of a date, honestly. But
no, it's cute, and I know everyone's like, oh, it's so great, and I'm like, could have been longer.
It pisses me off.
Could have been longer.
It pisses me off because I love Annie Get Your Gun, the musical, Annie Oakley, and at the end, the only way that she ends up with the guy she loves is that she intentionally misses her shot because he can't be with her. Essentially, his pride won't let him be with her and society, but it's him. Well, he won't accept that she's better, she's a better shot. And so she decides in the end that it's not that important to her, even though she is the best shot, in their area. I don't know how big that area is, but she's the best shot and she misses it. So he'll marry her and they can love each other and be happy. And it's like, I don't know. And that brings that up. And, I love Garrus, but that stuff like that, I just get annoyed with. And it's cute or whatever. You don't have to be all like into it like me, like, how dare you suppress a woman's. Yeah, but that's how I feel about it.
I agree that like that does, like, it did kind of bother me because you could tell, like, I remember watching one of those things. Oh my God, you'll have to cut this out when I'm trying to find this word.
Okay. I'm going to say one thing. Love is not a competition. You motherfuckers.
Okay, so I was going to say, I feel like I agree, but at the same time, either way, he's still just like, okay, I still love you.
That's true.
I mean, that's
true.
the difference.
So there's not those like, I can't be with you if you.
Yeah, no.
So no, there isn't. I'm just saying it still feels like not the best use of their date. That's all I'm saying.
I agree because it also feels, well,
we could sit by the fire. We could talk about having babies. I don't know.
And our poetry reading honestly sounds so funny to me that like I can't. Why not? Let's just go.
Yeah. When I was playing Mass Effect 3 yesterday, I stopped by the hospital to see Ashley and talk over her passed out body, normally, as you do to all your friends, as I will do to you if you were ever, God forbid, hospitalized.
Oh, good.
But you can buy like all these poetry books.
Yeah.
For some reason, at the little...
I feel like they're trying to trick you. They're like, do you remember what poet she likes? Do you? Do you?
I bought like most of them. I was like,
Why not? I have money.
Yeah, lots of money and I spent all of it on romantic books.
That's fine.
So, whatever. Liara.
Well, I want a friends to lovers romance, but I'm worried that that's going to be hard since it's not a trilogy, because the whole thing I liked about Garrus's romance is it's this, like, slow buildup of, like, oh, we trust each other and we care about each other and, like, you've got my back and I've got your back, and with this, it's one go, so I'm just like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, if it is one go, which I'm still not sold on the Dragon Age format.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
I wish my Inquisitor could be back because I love them, but so I'm not sold on it. I do think that they should consider doing it. I understand why they wouldn't want to. I think they've obviously stressed that they want to make it not quite as dire as the Reapers, and I do admit when I'm replaying, I'm like, holy shit, this is so heavy. And like at one point I'm just, because I like skip over dialogue sometimes, and I'm just like, I just know I heard it once and I know, and it's bad, but I want to go talk to my friends now. Goodbye.
I don't want to talk about this right now. I have to go.
Yeah, I should go. Please. I'm leaving. So yeah. What were you saying?
Just that I want a friends to lovers romance, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it would be really hard to accomplish that. You're right, in one game.
Which, that's why it was so hard for me to, like...
You'd have to, at the end,
yeah, which...
What up? I love you. And then you'd be like, hold on a minute. I was with PB. What is your deal?
Yeah.
You tell me this now, Caden? Caden, I don't love you. Step on.
Yeah, seriously. So, that's...
Liara, we're meant to be.
That's why I have trouble with Dragon Age. Like, I mean, I love the, like... I love Alistair, and I love Fenris, and I love Solus, but, I mean, my favorite...
It can be pretty shallow, though,
it does.
in comparison.
And the reason I wanted Varric was because I felt like there was that build-up between him and Hawke, and, like, And
they just didn't think that we would want that, I feel. And I think they're wrong, eh?
Yeah. I'm very frustrated about it, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that is my one thing about Dragon Age. We'll talk about that. Obviously, a lot at some point. But that is the one thing. It is a much more shallow story. You're not getting a ton of reasons. I miss the origin stories, and I feel like with Mass Effect and Shepard, you miss some stuff. Like, and it wasn't like, you know, the one thing you got was like an email from your mom if you were a spacer, right? But it still felt deeper because you were with that character. So I hope that they don't go crazy, and I hope they decide to keep Ryder around if it's successful. I really do. I don't know what the benefit of tossing away the story every time is. You don't have to keep amping up. It can just be like, well, now we're doing this. I don't know. I can't think of an idea. But you know what? I'm not a writer. I'm not the creative director. They are. So just, I hope they're a lot smarter than I am and find a way.
Yeah, same. I mean, smarter than me, not smarter than you, but just in general, smarter. Okay, so do you have another one? Because I have one final one, and then we can move on to just talking about whatever.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sure I do, but I'm not going to remember.
Okay, my last thing that I want is no fetch quests, unless they are as nuanced and interesting and give more flavor to the world like they do in Witcher 3. That is the only way I will accept them. You would go on like a fetch quest, quote unquote fetch quest in Witcher 3, and you get this inner turmoil of like a troll and his wife and like stuff going on. And I don't know, it just felt more like this is part of the world. But I remember watching a lot of the fetch or side quests and being like, this is so, these are interesting. They're not boring. You meet characters, you like them.
Yeah, I can tell you, I've only done like 2 because I'm catching up to where I was on my PC and I'm playing on the PS4. So I decided, listen, I'm not going to do everything completionist style here. I'm just going to do what I have to. Right. But then I ended up, going to the herbalist, and now what is what I'm doing? Now I'm seeing the old lady in her pot, her pan thing, whatever. So yeah, I get what you mean. Those are definitely more interesting, and opposed to being like, even in Dragon Age, the rain is okay. That's probably remember the rain you get for the lady whose husband I think was killed in Inquisition.
Yeah.
So there are some, but yeah, most.
But the payoff doesn't feel like this is like.
Yeah, she's just like, thanks, and I'm like, bye.
Yeah, and it's not even that they have to be like super grateful or something like that. It's because I mean, whatever. Yeah. It's more that with Witcher 3, I feel like it builds up the world where you're like, okay,
there's cutscenes.
Yeah, there are people here that live that aren't me, that aren't people that I'm directly talking to all the time. And I think that that's really effective. Whereas in Dragon Age, I just felt like this is an empty, vast, like wasteland. And there's some people in like huts and you talk to them for like 2 seconds, you go grab something and bring it back to them. And it's like, that's just it's not flavor. It's
as I said,
empty.
Going with the fact that sometimes their protagonists' stories feel a little bit shallow just in terms of a lot of things. But that, too, is another thing that it's like, that's the benefit of having multiple games with, more than just one character, more than just Varric. But I think if you didn't have Varric in that story, it was a good choice that they at least brought him along. I give them credit for that because keeping characters around, and I guess I'll give them credit for Cullen too, because whatever.
I mean, it endears. it makes you care more because you're like, oh, I already know these people.
And Liliana, of course, Lily.
Of course.
Yeah,
but
and Cassandra, but Liliana more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, and the thing is, it's not that they would have to do that like. In the original trilogies, it was fine that wasn't there because it wasn't open world. So it was like, okay, you're on a specific path. I'm doing this. This is like, A to B.
I hate that open world for Dragon Age. I think it was too big. And that sounds weird, but I think that if there had been like Hinterlands, I think is a great example of that's too much. Yeah. That is too much. Settle yourself down. Like reduce your quests by like, I don't know. I mean, for me, if there had been half as many quests, I would have been okay.
Yeah.
I would have been great. And just fulfill those quests out, and add some little cinematic thingies in there, and we'll talk to those people, and they'll have meaning, and they'll be memorable, and be like, oh, that's, Philip, and we helped him find his Mabari. I don't know.
Yep.
And we'll remember that, and it'll be cool. And yeah, I think sometimes they just stretch themselves trying to make a big game. And
Which, I mean, I appreciate that they're trying new things.
Yeah.
It's not to, it's like, I don't want to just like shit all over them.
They'll improve upon it. They want to, I remember Patrick Weeks being like, of course we want to hear your critique that's helpful. And I think that's a helpful critique to say, listen, reduce your quests and then, add some depth to the ones that you think are worth keeping. Because as they say, it is about story first for BioWare and always has been, at least in my experience. Maybe people disagree, but they say that, and I agree. Story first. So just focus on your story. We don't need like a jillion pointless quests, That's it. And I agree with your point. That I will take that. I will steal that one. But that is something that everybody has been very quick to say, yeah, we're not going to do a ton of fetch quests. So I'm hopeful.
I just worry that they don't understand like what I mean by fetch quests. I just worry they're going to be like, oh, okay, so we're just going to, I don't know. I just worry.
Well, they play the games before they come out and such. And I remember one of the people, I think, who's like a level designer or something, I don't know, somebody was like, yeah, I used to, what's that thing you have to get?
It's a Druffalo. It's a Druffalo. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on. It's like I never even said that. It's like that Druffalo quest where you have to escort him back. Because I remember that somebody who worked on the game was like, yeah, that was ridiculous and we never should have done that. And it was, yeah. And it's like, it's true. You shouldn't have. So if they understand that the Druffalo is bullshit, then I never do that one. I just never do.
Well, you also, you walk right by, it's like really early in the game, so you're weak, and you walk right by this huge, fade rift, and they kill you every
That is the worst.
fucking time.
So that's the reason why I play on easy a lot of the time, because I get to that point and I'm like, I'm not dying like 10 times for this stupid fucking rift. It's not happening. No. So.
The only one that's left is Dorian, and he's running. Like, that's my experience.
I just run away. I run away, and then everybody comes back, and we run back, and then we die again, and we go away, and we run back.
Yep.
Okay.
Tactics.
So, I'm going to transition us, if we're done with our hopes.
We are.
Which we'll probably have more in the future, but for now. I think there's something. Let me look through my notes. So, I think technically we've had, if you count N7, and then we had the gameplay, then we had the Sony thing, if that can be counted. So is that 3? And then we've had the briefings. I'm trying to think of how many actual, videos that talked about it, how many we've had. Or is it 4? Oh, gosh. But we've had quite a few, and some of the questions and comments I've gleaned from these are as follows.
Oh, boy.
Melee weapons. Melee weapons. I'm very interested in this. First of all, there was something that they referred to it, I think, as a knife, or somebody did, but it looked like a lightsaber, sort of, you know? And then there was the Krogan hammer. And I am so excited about the melee inclusion because I don't always like to use guns, and I'm not like an up close and personal person when it comes to like fighting styles and what I prefer. I prefer like bows. So just the idea that they're exploring more into melee makes me so excited because I am totally into that. And yeah, my dream would have been like a space bow, but I guess that doesn't make sense. Nobody is on that page with me.
Hey, it sounds cool. Why not at least a space what?
Listen. And if you're saying that's a little bit, not as advanced, well, guess what? Make it work. Because I would love that. I would love it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about combat. I think we can use the Krogan hammer. I'm gonna go crazy here and tell you that I think in the footage I watched.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Cass.
I'm gonna go insane. I think that we can, and I'm gonna keep this. And in general, I meant to say it earlier, but they were talking about how now we're not gonna have to choose in the beginning, like we're an engineer or biotic, whatever the hell we are, adept.
We just naturally build it, right?
Yeah, we build it, and I'm like, awesome. That made me really excited because I like to mess around, and I hope that they learn from Dragon Age on that, because I feel like their tree or whatever they call it for talents and whatever was really awesome. We had a mention, I think, in one of the pre-orders, something about getting a Varan pet.
Yes.
Am I making that up? Okay, all right. The Varan, I'm awesome with. I'm great with it. But here is an idea. Listen, Mac Walters. Mac, I want a space cat. I want my space cat. I want it bad. You're going to give it to me. It's going to live in one of my little settlement outpost things, whatever. And I'm going to be able to name it. And I can customize it. Long hair, short hair. And yeah, that's something I've been holding on to. I want my space cat.
Oh, God. I just thought about the outposts, and all I can think is in Fallout 4, okay, so I'm horrible at, like, multitasking, that sort of stuff. But, like...
Mine are shacks. These people who build beautiful Fallout 4 stuff. I'm like, are you kidding? What are you doing? It's like I'm jealous, first of all, but I don't have the dedication, because here's the thing. I played Sims a lot, and I love Sims.
Same.
And I built beautiful Sailor Moon houses, and they were gorgeous, and my wife and I were so happy. But this is ugly shit, and I know there's been mods now, but for some reason when it came to settlements, I couldn't make myself give a shit because it was all so ugly. And it should be like, if they'd been like, you can build a Sailor Moon castle, I'd be like, well, obviously you can't. This is Fallout. This is unrealistic. But at the same time, I had no interest in it, and so the idea that I had to like build these ugly ass settlements was really offensive to me. So I'm hoping it's nothing like that.
I got frustrated when we would be playing, because I remember I was playing and Ryan comes in and he goes, so in the future there's no brooms or anything? Because the thing is, like, you build it and it's fucking dirty, and it stays fucking dirty.
Okay. There's all those people walking around. Why don't we find some brooms? Why don't we clean this up? You know, does anybody have any handyman skills, handywoman skills?
Anything?
Do you want to get on this? Why don't we have the workshop? I mean, we can repair this. Or I don't know. I don't really care, but it's just so... It's so ugly. I still have not finished that game, and I feel bad. I can't. That's a game that tells you right there that they were going for something, and I feel like they super missed the mark, at least in terms of I was comparing it to games that I love and the characters, and like just sleep beside your partner. It's not a format that I like.
No.
That's why I love BioWare, because it's not like, well, sleep beside your partner for extra rest. It's like, what? Okay. I love you. Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Skyrim when it first came out, and like I liked when they added on like, oh, you can build a house and your spouse can live there and stuff, but it still feels very empty, because I mean, your spouse, like in Skyrim especially, does not have a personality, really.
We saw the light, and now we can't go back to that way of life where it's just like this fake, all right, let's go. Dun, 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 dun. And, you know, I don't know.
Well, it just feels like, what's the point? Like, why even include this? Why tease me?
Yeah, so I guess for the settlement stuff, I do hope it's not like Barbie Dream House. I hope that we just get a settlement, and I hope it's somewhere in between, like, the camps you made for Inquisition. Yeah. Not as, I don't know, I mean... I'm
just afraid of it being Fallout 4 and you being like, okay, you have to reinforce this and you have to set this up, and it's like...
I don't want time shit. I
can't manage my own life. I can't manage theirs. Please.
No, that is so much. That's why the app they released, Fallout Shelter, I think it was called, I tried playing that, and all my people kept dying. Clearly, and I'd be like, I don't have the dedication for this. I need to feed myself. I can't be defending these children, and I don't know what's going on here. And also, nobody's gay, and it makes me sad, right?
Yeah, that was a bummer.
I think they're not. I was like, are you really okay? Oh, here's one thing that for some reason I'm an idiot, because when I get excited, I'll watch something like maybe 50 times and I will still not really understand what's being said. I'll be focusing on something. So when the trailer came out for gameplay or whatever they're calling it on December, whatever, just recently, or maybe, you know what, actually, it is the Arc and Nexus briefing video, I believe. And they're talking about the Pathfinder hub in the Nexus, which is like our temporary home. And for some reason, it genuinely just clicked for me that as a Pathfinder, we're finding homes for people. Like, and then we're going to stay on the Nexus until that happens. I swear to God, it just clicked for me. That's how slow I am. And I was like, hold on, wait, we're going to go into the Nexus and we have the Pathfinders and there's other Pathfinders and we're finding homes for people. And I was like, And so I guess I wrote down other Pathfinders as like, who are the other Pathfinders? That's all I... No, it really did take me a long time.
I'm so sorry.
I was not listening.
Okay.
Avina was talking, and to be honest, though, I think that voice is very easy to kind of go, whew. Yeah. So we're finding homes for people, which is a big job, and it's scary. And to think that all these people are going to live on the Nexus.
It must be freaking huge. Like,
I know.
Hot damn.
If you look at it in comparison to the arcs, it is. But I guess that kind of goes into this thing that I had up here, if I can find it. Oh, which is that Mac Walters said to look at the novel titles. There will be 3 novels that come out, and the first one is set to come out when the game does, and then I think the rest come out throughout the year. And the titles, I think one was Mass Effect Annihilation, Mass Effect Initiation, and maybe it's called Mass Effect Nexus Rising, or maybe it's just Nexus Rising, but it's probably Mass Effect Nexus Rising. So Nexus Rising is a big thing because of Sloane Kelly and that whole kind of like speculation of Sloane Kelly was, what was her role? I didn't write that down.
She was security or something. Security off, like, head of security, I think.
Yeah, and when you see her in the gameplay that was just kind of released a couple weeks ago, you see that she is now on like one of the hub planets, and she's like in an Arya kind of position, going from being in that role on the Nexus. And so if the novel is titled Nexus Uprising, you know, he's like, well, why do people, you know, have infighting? What could happen that would make her get in an argument? And just like different priorities that all these species have on there, and having to be in this one place. And I don't know, I've been trying to think of what like a reasonable reason for this to have happened. Why would people have uprisen in outrage? And I couldn't think of a ton, except as usual, it's kind of like me and my Dragon Age ranting. I'm always like, what are the motives? Jealousy is a big one when it comes to, you know, people who want power. And of course I've never been on an arc with other species, but I could imagine it would get a little testy. So I'm really curious about what that one is. And I think that's the first one that comes out. Some of the arcs or some of the whatevers came in earlier than others, and some people have been there, and it's like, how long have they been there? What are the relationships they have established? Because we're just getting there. And I'm okay with the idea that people came in and shit went bad, and some people are being really aggressive, and that's the struggle, not only with the cat, but with, you know, finding some kind of peace and kind of reining in these people who came with us. I'm okay with that on some level. I still don't think it's the story I'd want, because they say it's a story about exploration. We're an explorer. I hope it's not quite that dire, but he said there are still very high stakes. Mac Walters did. So
I'm wondering if maybe Sloane Kelly and those other people, because I mean, there are races from the Milky Way and there are races from the Andromeda galaxy, and so I'm wondering if maybe she did not like that we were colonizing, essentially, and she broke off and uprose, and now she runs like a tiny station. So I mean, that might be why she split off from the Ark and all of that, but
she's gonna be a very interesting character.
Yeah.
And I don't see her being painted, I hope not, as, you know, the problem in that situation. I'm sure it was a lot of other people. The thing that kind of is baffling to me is that this takes like 600 years to do.
Yeah.
That the journey is 600 years, and apparently everyone is in cryosleep or whatever. And the question for me is like, obviously things do go wrong occasionally, and nobody's gonna be there to, like, would it wake them up? I mean, I think that might be, we've seen in the, I think the N7 day trailer, that something does go wrong somewhere in space with that whole, I think male rider, I believe, was, and maybe Liam, like you crash or something. So I mean, something's gonna go wrong, because there's, how that could even, something would happen. Where's the power for that? How does this happen? I don't understand. Like, I know that it's it's sci-fi and it's not supposed to be realistic
Yeah.
right now. But there's some realism in that I just don't understand 600 years. And like, I'm going to need that to be acknowledged for my brain, just to be like, listen, some stuff went wrong. 600 years of power. Where did we get that? Where were we getting that power from? It's confusing to me, as maybe I'm not a scientific person and I'm not a writer. but yeah, that's something that I'm hoping they give some explainer to, of like how they even came up with this idea,
I mean,
the lady who we see in the initiative video, Jean Grayson, Jean something. I want to see like what's the word for the thing that comes before the
the preface?
like in Dragon Age,
the preface.
Yeah, in that part of the game, I totally want to see how this came to be in part. Like, I don't need the full story, but I kind of want to see, especially for the Ryder family, what that happened. Oh, and this brings me into what I've been dying to tell you.
Oh, what?
And you're going to think I'm crazy. It was that one thing that I was holding off of. Let me find my exact thing. Okay. So, Sam is our new, like, Edie, basically.
Yeah.
And when Mac, I think, was talking about it, he said, well, he is like Edie, but that he has a much closer relationship to the Riders and Alec. And what this made me feel is probably what maybe someone else who is also a little bit out there feels, or maybe you're feeling it right now, closer relationship. My thought was that perhaps Sam was like built by someone who was potentially their other father. That's right. Alec Ryder was married to a man, and our daddy, we have 2 daddies. This is what I want so desperately.
I'm in.
Because
whatever.
listen, saying that Sam has a closer relationship to the Riders and Alec, it's like, okay, I guess it could have been built by somebody and have be made to have the inflection of somebody, or knows a lot about their mother, if we're going with that angle. But there's just something that would be so freaking fantastic if it turned out we had 2 daddies. It's just, I have not been able to get it out of my mind at all, because I would be so happy. This whole game would be fucking 100. I'd be like, no, I'm in. He's dead. It's really unfortunate. Bury your gays. I'm sorry. It would be awful, assuming that the person is dead. But then they'd have this thing, and Sam would be like our dad, like a version of our dad. I am losing my shit. This is my one good thing of the week. It has kept me going. The idea that we could have Daddy Sam, who's our AI, and who takes care of us and cares about us. I'm okay.
I like it. I'm in.
I love it a lot. I love it so much.
I like it.
Like the idea that Daddy made this thing for us. Oh. Okay. I'm okay.
I mean,
but if we have this, either way, like, okay, fine. I'll take away the fact that I'm saying that it could be that there are or a relative of ours, built it, and or they used to belong to.
I mean, it would make sense, because if it's supposed to have a close relationship, it's like, well, do they have a close relationship to begin with, or does it become a close relationship? Because if it becomes one, then I would be like, maybe it's a romance option. But if it starts off that way, then I would say possible. What you're saying.
Yeah, that you knew us, that they knew the AI since they were kids, similar to like the Edie relationship. I don't know. It's a stretch, but it's something I really want, because otherwise I can't really speculate on what would he have meant by closer relationship to the Riders. Like an AI having a closer relationship? I mean, was their house AI? That's not a thing, is it? No, I don't know.
Not.
I hope not either. So I'm just saying,
AIs are like illegal, at least in they're not allowed in the trilogy. I remember like the whole thing about Edie is she's like, she has to pretend to be a VI constantly.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking along the lines of, well, somebody built this. Who would have built this? How would they had a close relationship with it? I'm assuming well before they, went on the journey, because Alec, as far as we know, isn't like going to be present as much. Is he gonna? I don't know what he's gonna be doing. I don't know if they've commented on that. Have you heard anything about Alec as far as Like, are we gonna see him? He's supposedly gonna be quite old.
I know that they just were like, well, he's not necessarily an antagonist, and, you have a complicated relationship with him, and I was like, what? Okay, so...
I still love the daddy rider is our foe thing.
I do, too.
He came, and he was pissed off, and we're... Because guess what? I got daddy issues, quote-unquote, and I just want to experience this so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the story I'm still hoping for.
Yeah, I'm with it.
And also the other rider twin hopefully not getting brutally murdered. Like, we know that they're not going to be able to come with us, I think that was said.
Yeah.
Whoever you choose not to be. Something will happen to them that they cannot come with
you.
They
stay on the ship, so...
Sinister. Oh. Well, hopefully they're not hurt too badly.
I just hope they're not, like, in stasis and you talk to them through a computer and it's like, oh...
I hope we don't have to go to this to their hospital bed and be like, hey, in there, brother. Actually, that's more subtle than Shepard is when they go to the hospital bed, because it's more like, how you doing, buddy? What up? And you're like, hold on a minute.
So
listen, Shepard. Listen, this is wrong. You could touch their hand and you can be like, I'll leave a spot for you or some shit like that on my crew. But don't be like, how you doing? All right, you get better, bye. Okay.
I just want to creepily hover over your bed and breathe hard.
Yeah, and that's basically what happens.
I guess they probably did it because some people had romanced them. I never thought of that because I've never romanced them. So I'm always just like, why do we have this scene? This is so weird.
Well, it's still weird when you romance them, because I've done the Caden romance and it's still weird. I wouldn't do that to someone, even if I was romantically interested in them. I would not. I'd be like, listen, this is creepy. If they can't hear me, they're gonna think I'm creepy. Oh, another thing. I'm interested in the scanner stuff. I would play a game that was purely low stakes, Andromeda investigator. I would go around with my little tool and I would scan everything and I would just read, and that would be a game and I would enjoy it. Like, I used to play the CSI game on my computer, and I was in love with that. So basically, they made an Andromeda CSI, and so when I see that scanner tool with the little info that pops up, I'm just so happy. That's something I'm really looking forward to, because the exploration element is being really something they're featuring a lot, and I'm so excited for that.
I wish they would do, like, because, Baldur's Gate was kind of low graphics. Was it 8-bit? Is that considered 8-bit? I don't know. Either way. I wish they would do some stuff like that. Maybe make, like, mobile games where it's like, oh, you're a CSEC investigation, like, officer, and you have romance options, but it's super low graphic, like, intense, and so that way it's easy for them to churn it out, but it can still be dialogue heavy. I just want, like, some fun, low graphical BioWare, Mass Effect mobile games, or it could be on whatever. I don't care what it's on. That's what I want.
Doesn't Dragon Age have that Dragon Age Heroes thing? I have no idea what that is.
What is that?
But I believe it's some sort of a game. I've seen, like, the people who run it, they're kind of, I don't know. It's a game, I think. Or I think it's on Facebook or something. I don't know.
I've never even heard of that.
I would love that too. Here's another thing. I guess we can loot corpses now?
Oh.
Did you see that? I think that it was pointed out in a video that you can click on the remains. And I don't know if that's specific to a quest. Maybe you, like, have to pick up the bones of this. I don't know. That doesn't seem like something they'd have us do, but that was exciting to me. I like looting. I mean, actually, one thing I kind of like about Mass Effect is you're not wasting a lot of time looting, but I just kind of want, I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
You just want to get in that, get in those pockets.
Yeah, I just want to loot those.
Give me that stuff. Give me it.
Corpses. Riders are in their mid-20s. That's a thing. PB. I guess I'm going specific here, but one of the things that I've been thinking about lately, because so far my options for even considering romance are PB and Vetra. And they've talked about PB kind of like how she's a free spirit and she's like a lone wolf, and that she's the opposite of Liara, which is interesting because I really love Liara. I would consider her to be like my type. In a lot of ways, not every way, but she is, and she's less of an Asari, maybe the opposite of an Asari, which is kind of confusing. I don't even like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting, but that's something that she's less concerned with Asari concerns, and that her full name is something ridiculous, so she's called PB. Oh, and Mac Walter said, Vetra and PB, wait until you see that relationship blossom. But he said it a little sarcastic. And it didn't sound negative per se, but I definitely got the vibe that, oh, and then I started worrying a lot about like Miranda and Jack and that bullshit that happened.
Ugh.
And I start getting worried. So here's what I'm hoping. Like I'm not a big fan of the Isabella Fenris thing. I'm not a big fan of when our crew members shack up. And it's not that I don't want them to be happy. It's just if you're not with me, get the fuck over it. You're not gonna be happy. So Vetra and PB, obviously I would prefer that if they're gonna have some sort of relationship that is unique, like he's saying it all funny, I'm like, don't be an asshole, first of all. But if I have to choose anything, I guess it would be that they sort of have like a crush on each other. That's better to me than the idea that they have a Jack and Miranda bullshit situation going on. That would disappoint me so much because I get they probably, I mean, if Vetra and her clash, then that would tell me that Vetra is maybe more like, we know that she's like techie, she wears that thing. So that would tell me that she's more of a serious person, which is actually really interesting to me. I'm hoping, I can't tell about romances until I see everybody and I hear their voices, and I'm not going to let my hopes get up until I know if I can actually romance them as a woman, So at this point, I'm hoping that's not the situation, and we don't have any more repeats of, well, I'm not like you, catfight.
I mean, I would be happy with them having a crush on each other, or if they were just like,
for sure, I respect the hell out of you.
Yeah.
You're so cool. Like, wow, we're best friends. Like, but he better not be being a dick.
No,
Mac Walter.
Because I mean, I'm looking forward to PB because I am not a Liara fan. Like, I care deeply for her, but she's just too serious.
Well,
and
let's be real here. I'm gonna add her ahead of time to the characters in BioWare games that were not properly given what I believe they deserved, because she's definitely one of them. I love Liara. I think in the first game, she's just kind of treated really shitty. And in 2, like, I don't like everything that happens. She's barely there if you play the DLC, and I romanced her, and I went back and I was like, Liara, I'm gonna go through the thing. Can we talk? And all she says is, thanks for stopping by. And I'm like, what the? It was so disappointing. But now that I've gotten to 3, I don't know. I think in 3 so far anyway, and from what I remember when we were just platonic, although honestly with Liara, I feel like we were never platonic. In my mind, it was always, the first time I played and I got to 3 and I got to the end, and she does that embrace eternity, and we touch, and it's like, no, Garrus is waiting for me. And I'm like, you know what, Liara, I love you. I remember saying it. And so that, I think they did a great job with her in 3 because she's badass and she's adorable. And I don't know, I get why people think, because that is like a relationship that is, it's kind of thrown on you a lot, and obviously, but I feel like that with Caden too.
Oh,
so
God,
I don't know. But
I mean, I feel like initially they both have crushes on you, and you're supposed to be like, oh, who do I choose? And like, they both freaked me out because I don't like being pursued. Like, that freaks me out. So I was just both like, you need to both just calm down and step away.
Although at the same time, something that vexed me about Garrus is that you're like definitely the pursuer. That's so it's they kind of took that, and that's probably what you like about Garrus too. Then is like, hey, so you fuck somebody, you want to fuck me? That's honestly what you do.
That's how I've gotten every person I've dated, is I'm very forward. So I don't know. It works. It's God. Worked. I mean,
that's horrible.
Not necessarily that. Not what a fuck. That's not. I mean, the first time, no. It's more like, I like you. Do you like me? So that's Those are my moves.
Yeah, well, that's direct, and I respect it. But I think it's agreed upon and been confirmed that the timeline is that we leave at the end of 2 before 3, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so they aren't going to just drop the whole thing with, Solarians and Krogans. They're not going to be on great terms still. All those things will carry over. Oh, I guess the other thing is we have the Ket, who are our apparent foes in some cases. Most Ket, excuse me.
Get a Ket.
They are creepy looking, and they have like these bone armor things, and they're real intense. They're not pretty. And then we have the Angara or Angaran.
Are they the like elephant ear?
Yeah, I was calling them squid.
Squid, yeah, I can see that.
They remind me of Draenei from Warcraft.
They make me think of like heffalumps and woozles from.
They do.
Winnie the Pooh.
We can call them elephant people, whatever. So far we've only seen 2. I think is that 2 new alien types, right?
I think so. I'm not.
I don't know. My question is, I guess. I mean, this is going to be in future games. No doubt we'll see more because we're exploring. But how many do you think we will see? I mean, how many? I'm hoping a lot. I'm just load me up because I get that they're not all going to be on our squad.
Yeah.
But
I want there to be a ton, but at the same time, like the codex is so weak and they don't get into so much of the culture and stuff of the different races that they already have that I'm like, are we really going to like...
I know, but if we're going into this new galaxy and we're going on these new planets, the idea that we wouldn't run into a ton is kind of nuts to me. So I think from a somewhat realistic perspective, I definitely want a lot. And hopefully, I haven't been too impressed. The Kets they're cool looking. I mean, I don't think they need to be that like sinister looking in order to be our sort of foes.
Yeah.
That's something that kind of...
That's like when they made the Vorcha. I'm like, what? They live for 20 years and they look fucking horrible. And they're just supposed to be like fodder.
For them.
Which is...
I should have even talked about this before, but I've told you before, but N.K. Jemisin, who is doing the Mass Effect Initiative book, which I think is the last one that comes out in 2017, she's wonderful. And that's the one thing that gave me a lot of hope for the future games in general, and Andromeda, etc., is that she is a wonderful writer. She is like, there aren't many people of color who write sci-fi that I know of, and she's just so amazing, and she's very vocal. You can follow her at NK Jemisin on Twitter. I think that's her handle, and she's amazing, and she's wonderful, and I'm so excited that she's writing because it tells me that they like have an open mind and they're gonna actually try to do better this time,
That's why I want to believe that they're not going to be like, colonization.
But I will.
Yeah,
I want to believe it too, because I don't think she would get involved with that. But the other thing is that I've read most of her books at this point, and just to prepare people, I know it's called Initiation, and it's the last one, but she writes the fucking darkest shit. Not the darkest I've ever read, but it is genuinely really, really, really dark. So like people who are interested in being like, well, these writers, I forget the other one. I think the other lady is Stephanie something who's writing another, and then I don't know, another dude. But yeah, just be prepared, because even though that one actually sounds like the least intense of the names, but I think it's going to be really dark. And if it's not, I'll be disappointed, because she does that so well. And it's not like vulgar or anything, but it's, it's definitely, it disturbs you and you don't forget it. So
sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, and read her book. She's amazing. So check her out, and kudos to whoever made that decision, because I love her. And if you don't, or I don't read any other book, read that one. There we go. N.K. Jemisin. That's all.
Good plug. Oh, I was going to talk about what romances I'm interested in. So far, my options, I guess, if they're romanceable, are like Petra, PB, Drac, and Liam, I guess. And So far,
Korra, possibly.
and
Korra, I would think.
Korra, yeah.
I think Korra is going to have to be romanceable as a woman.
Probably.
I don't know, though.
I hope.
For sure, as a dude, for sure.
But the only person I'm so far, like, interested in is Vetra, and
Same.
PB maybe. I don't know. It's like, I want to have faith that
scare me.
I just want someone goobery and, like, cute, but not like goobery but funny, and Sarah was too much. Like
an Alistair, but possibly a female.
Yeah, that's what I want, and it's just not happened, and it really bothers me. I don't know. I mean, whenever I think about the Asari, I just sort of like, it's like, I like them. Don't get me wrong. But I have to, like,
them.
roll
I want to romance Samara, but she wouldn't romance me.
Yeah, no.
And I regret that.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's that I have to roll my eyes because, like, I remember reading in the art book, they talk about the art direction. They were like, we wanted to make, when we made the Asari, we wanted them to look like a woman getting out of their... getting out of the water and their hair's wet. And I was like, good God, like, are you fucking kidding me? So I just...
There's a lot of shit that is pretty disturbing about that. But I agree about Vetra, and it would break my heart if she wasn't romanceable for women.
Yeah, I'll be very upset. But I'm always wrong, so...
I can't make that decision yet. I can't choose, obviously, like you said. We can't choose until we're in there, and I will probably still be like, oh, well, just, what if, who's coming? Is someone around the corner? Which is the scary part, which is why I hate that they're, like, holding out on us, because I'd like to know, and it's about, like I said, for me, it's about voice actor, like, who the voice actor is, like, a big part of it.
Definitely.
Like, it was hard for me, and, Inquisition specifically with some people, because I was just like, I'm not feeling this. No, this is not, like, I tried to play Blackwall even though I didn't have any interest in him, and his voice actor reminds me of who played Robert Baratheon on Game of Thrones, the television show, and so I can never, I can't get past that. I can't, and I won't. So you kind of need to know those things. Although I will probably play them all at one point or another. It's just about, like, who I will want with my beautiful first baby.
I tend to find one and stick to it, and then I just can't, like, get off that track. That's how I am. I don't know.
That's a shame. That's not true, though, because you have romanced other people in games. I mean, come on.
Have I?
Yeah, you romanced Solus, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That is one example. Wait, who else did you romance?
That's what I'm saying. Like, in each game, like...
Wait, you didn't romance anyone other than Solus?
No. I tried.
Oh, okay.
I tried, and I couldn't do it.
I swear to God, I did not even think about that. I was like, no, she romanced them. But I'm like, who? And I'm like,
that was it. Like, I tried to romance Cullen, because so when I played Inquisition, I hadn't played Dragon Age 2. So all I remembered of Cullen was the first Dragon Age where you, like, rescue him, and I played a mage, and so, like, we had flirted and whatever, and I was like, he's, he just got shaken up, it's fine. But when you get to Inquisition, I was like, oh, he's so sweet, oh, and then I went back and I played Dragon Age 2, and I was like, fuck Colin, fuck this. But I mean, he grows. I'm not saying I don't like Colin. Don't take that away from this. But
should we talk about that as, like, a general thing that, like, we don't bash characters, or we try not to, because I don't think that has a place. If you don't like something, you should just, like, it's okay, it's your right not to like it, but you don't have to be a dick about it. But, like, in general, we probably will never be like, Colin's so dreamy, he's so hot.
No,
I don't feel that way. You don't feel that way, and that's just a thing. But we're not going to be mean about it. It's just a thing.
But he did make me mad in Dragon Age 2.
I have literally talked about it on every social media outlet, on my YouTube channel, Elventempest. Hello. I've talked about the fact that I want Corians, and that is my number one, and I didn't even say that. So
yeah, I kept waiting for you to bring it up, and I was like, well, I'm not going to bring it up.
You should tell me. I'm not on my own.
I'm going to let her do it.
I can't take care of myself. Yeah, so Corians, because I want to wait. I don't think it's going to happen that they're going to give me my Corian girlfriend. But I'd be happy for people to get a Corian at all, romanceable or not. Even a male, I'd be fine with it, because it kind of breaks my heart in millions of pieces to think that they won't be in a game, even in the first game. And if they're not in the first game, I'm still going to keep hoping. But we did see that screen cap if you haven't seen it, it's okay. It's blurry. On the Nexus ship with Avina and what may be a Quarian, but Mac Walters said he was not going to confirm that. Which saying, not saying anything to me is still a sign of hope. So.
No, I agree. I mean, every time they've been like, not saying anything, it normally means it's happening. So, like, I feel like it would be too cruel to be like, ha ha ha, tee no, you'll see, and then be like, ha ha, tricked you. It's not happening.
Okay. I'm so out of order. This is why we need structure. You're right. We need
structure. Told you.
Because Sam, the AI that I proposed, was either built by your mommy, daddy, grandpa, your two daddy. The thing I missed talking about was that he's an AI or a robot, and he is an active or permanent part of you. It is connected to you permanently. Sam is connected to you permanently and was connected to and knew your father, Alec. There's a very specific relationship there. It's more of a partner than Edie was. You're way closer emotionally to Sam! Daddy Sam! I hope that's not aggressive. I might, if I have to cut that, I got really excited and I pumped my fist. And I said, Daddy Sam, because we are way closer emotionally to Sam. And then I started going on a little thing about what could Sam stand for? Sam, that I don't have any ideas as far as what SAM could stand for. If it's, I don't know. Maybe they already said it, or maybe there's an obvious answer. But regardless, Sam is a permanent part of us. Like, what is that? Is it like a thing in our brain? What's going on?
I hope not. That sounds stressful.
And was connected and knew your father, Alec. A permanent part of you.
I don't want something that sounds like...
Dude, we have a permanent part of us who's possibly our daddy. Or other daddy. I like the daddy idea, but I also think it might be a romance option, is where they're going with that. Sam? No, it knew Alec. There's a specific relationship. It's more of a partner than Edie was. You're way closer emotionally to Sam. Listen, I'm just gonna hold on to my two daddies.
I mean, either way, I will be happy. Like, I like your idea a lot. I think it's really effective, and it would be really fun and interesting.
I will be so happy. I will follow.
When they say like, oh, you're emotionally closer, like, to me that says like, oh, there's possibility for a romance, and it's like, I personally would not want to be attached.
But it knew Daddy. It knew Alec Ryder, and it knows your brother, and it's a permanent part of you. To me, this suggests some like close contact to the making of Sam. Like, regardless, I definitely think somebody we knew, designed Sam, and yeah,
for sure,
and has like information from that person who programmed them. All I'm saying. So, so.
I hope we have two dads in general. Regardless of Sam or not, two dads would be great.
Yeah, for sure. Two dads for sure, regardless. But I kind of hope that's the situation, that like Sam is like sort of a surrogate for our sadly deceased, because it would be better if they were alive. But we have moving hair. That's a thing.
Did
you see that? Yeah, the female writer, Sarah Ryder, as they're calling her right now, default, whatever, has a hair that moves. The pony, it's swishy.
Whoa.
I know. And I'm not a huge fan of that little pony.
No, it's not cute. Why do they put low ponies?
It's
like,
okay.
you can't, no. And it's like too thin. It looks not good.
It's too thin for sure. And I think I get that, you're trying to make the least cutoff ability. But apparently, we've seen, I don't know if this will be changed before it comes out, but when you have your helmet on, everybody has a buzz cut. Have you seen that? Like, I don't know. That must be something they're going to fix, but it's kind of strange. That's why people were like, does Cora have a buzz cut? Or maybe it was Sarah. But no, if you see that on people, that's either because they haven't done that bit yet, they're polishing, quote unquote. So moving hair, super exciting. It's funny because now that I'm playing Mass Effect over again, I have my Mira Shepherd, who's my beautiful Paragon, and she has great eyebrows. And I look at that from 2012, and even before then, whenever 2 came out, and I think 1 was okay, but those eyebrows are better than anything in Inquisition, the ones I have on her, and it makes me so upset. So I guess if wishes and hopes from that, obviously we're wishing that we have eyebrows that aren't scary. Because I told you that I recently got a PS4 and I bought Dragon Age Inquisition, the game of the year, with all the DLC, and I was so excited. But after having beautiful mods from the modding community,
You've been spoiled.
I've been spoiled because I look at it and I'm like, oh my god. Mass Effect, I don't feel like that. I mean, obviously, Mass Effect, I don't even have mods on now, which is crazy for me, but I don't care because she's beautiful without them.
Well, that and you're in the military, so your hair is kind of shorter. You don't want it to be super long because you'd have to be putting it up all the time. But
and it's not the same situation, but the eyebrows in Inquisition, I will be so hurt if I have to have those again. Because you have to stare at them a long time, and there's no excuse for me to have freaking. It was a mess. It was a mess. And all I'm saying is there was no woman doing that.
No.
There was nobody that was overseeing that was a woman. And it's sad.
Or even just someone who, like, has looked at people's eyebrows and been like, those look aesthetically pleasing. Because, like, I feel like a huge chunk of them, over 50%, were supposed to be, like, male dwarf eyebrows.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I can't even think of one that I thought was like, okay. You know? Like, I think the one I usually settle on is the one that sort of looks like you just woke up and you slept on your eyebrows. That's the one I settled on. But that shouldn't be the best option at all.
No. Because, I mean, if you want to have a character with a unibrow, I totally, like, say, do it.
That's great.
But there shouldn't be 20, like, ones that look like half of your face is covered. Because that was the thing, is it wasn't even like there were, like, sort of differing unibrows. It was just, like, bushier or bushier.
Like, somebody was just not. That was not the right job for them.
No.
But there is hope in the fact that, you know, forever ago that somebody was tweeting that they were getting makeup tips, you know, and so stuff like that. I'm not fully giving up on the idea that we could have decent eyebrows. Yeah, so
I just hope the lighting is good, because the thing I hated about Inquisition is you're like making your character and it looks great, and then you got in the real world and you're like, oh my god, what did I do? Like, she's got.
And you have to go back 1,000 times.
Oh my god, it's awful.
And it's been 4 hours and you still haven't played the full game,
pretty much,
or the full intro, because you're going back.
And that's why that mirror or whatever was worth the money. I paid for it, and I'd pay for it again if I had to. I don't know. The endings, like, I have two friends who really, well, one of them's Ryan, but they really want to be on the podcast and talk about how much they hate the endings.
Oh, good.
And I was like,
sure, that will be an episode people go, I gotta go.
I'm gonna skip that because it would just be 4 people being like, why did they do this? Why did they do this?
I'm not opposed to it. It's just that I think they always, Mac Walters, when he talks about it, he's like, you know, I get that we didn't get the ending we wanted. And I just don't even think it's worth going into, because I think if you want to talk about the indoctrination, which I've like watched so many videos and read so many things, that's what I go with.
Yeah.
It's the most satisfying thing to me. So I'm done being angry about it, because
I'm over it. Like,
it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I can be angry, but what I can't understand is people who are happy with it. Those are the people. It's like, well, you know what? I love you. Actually, on a level, I love them because they're the complete opposite of me, and they must be great people who are just like, I'm happy this happened. And it's like, well, that's great. I wish I was like that. I'm not. I like to complain and be dissatisfied, and you're never gonna please me. That's it.
That's my tagline. You're never gonna please me.
That's what I say to my wife on our wedding day. Do you take her? Yes, you're never gonna please me. I do.
Good.
Yep.
It's good.
Well, that's honest.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's fine. I mean, I've already overshared. It's time for you to overshare.
Yeah. It's fine.
And that's not even oversharing. It's just being honest.
No, it's just honesty. And that's what we're all about here at Embrace Eternity. We're about the honesty.
Mine's more going to be just oversharing. Yours will probably be honesty.
Yeah. Well, Did you even say that Ryan was your boyfriend just to get that?
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah,
No,
okay,
you
so
didn't.
Ryan's
So
my
they're gonna
boyfriend.
if people got this far, that's your boyfriend.
Ryan's my boyfriend. We've been together like 11 years, so it's been a really long time.
I didn't even know if you wanted to mention him, so I was just like, when you said it, I was just like, well, all right, I'll be quiet. But yeah.
Yep.
And my girlfriend is currently Corvo Atono's Dishonored mask wearing my hat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Let me just say that I think all of the civilian casual clothing in Mass Effect is hideous. It's hideous.
Yep.
And I hate it.
Oh! Here, I'm gonna stop you right here to
Okay.
intersect and tell you that in the new videos with Avina and the briefings on Mass Effect's website, I think that's where I saw it. Those clothes are still there, and I am so horrified that they would make the choice to like bring that along. Like, I don't get it. I don't think it's the dress with the hole in it. God, it's one of, I think it's the dress most women wear, but
Burn
not the
them.
whole one, you know?
Burn them.
Why are they there?
Burn them.
What the fuck is going on?
Don't burn the clothes. Burn them. Burn those dresses. They're hideous. And okay, so the thing that frustrates me the most is why are they full length? They're like full length to the arm, full length to the
you're real
leg,
hot, and then you got your belly button isn't
turtleneck.
hot. Your belly button needs circulation. And your neck, you know what? You get cold on your neck, and then your belly gets hot. I don't know. I don't know what to read into that, but it was, yeah. I always choose, I think, when I have to put them in wear, in this, you know what? I should have my stupid hoodie, which I'll put it on her. But yeah, I'd choose the hoodie. But in previous games, I always chose that like blue suit for casual wear. And in general, yeah, I don't know.
When there's so many, like, I have so many
I have so many ideas for like beautiful casual wear that's like spacey and simple.
There's stuff now that they could like reference even.
I'll send you my Pinterest board.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm sending you my Pinterest. Get inspiration. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the way that you make us look.
I get so mad. I hate it so much. Like, please hire someone who has like a degree in fashion or has looked at a fashion magazine twice. Please.
The problem, I think, is that they have some cute merch, right? So if the people that are designing their merch have the common sense to be like, all right, well, these are okay. And some of their stuff, no. But most of it is okay and cute. And why is it such a big deal? I don't, like, or I will be honest that if they did delay it again and they said, we're fixing the eyebrows, we're giving you some nice cashwear, we're giving you an Andromeda hoodie, I'd be like, you know what? Take your time. I'm good. Because I don't know.
I just want better clothes. Why are they so... Why? I'm like, if the Asari...
This is my space
if the Asari have been making clothes for that friggin' long, and that's all they've come up with, I'm very disappointed.
That's why you're mad at the Asari.
It is. That's why I'm mad at them.
That's everything, is that we have those dresses, and...
I'm not really mad at the Asari. I'm mad at whoever designed the Asari and was like, oh, let's make it look like a lady coming out of the pool. Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm more into it than I should be at this point, but I've kind of learned to accept it just because, I don't know.
I'm gonna, on my deathbed, I'm gonna pull someone close and be like, why? Why did they do that to the Asari?
You're never going to get that answer other than the fact that they didn't really ever think that a girl could possibly be interested in playing this, or that a boy could possibly be attracted to well, first of all, it's so weird to say attracted. I feel like, oh my God, ugh. I mean, that's what we're talking about, though, is being into like pixelated fake people.
Yep.
But
well, you know.
But it's so weird to say it, and you just, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like the Mass Effect cosplay photos I showed you, where like they were promoting the game with all these sexy professional cosplayers dressed up as the characters.
Yeah.
And like it was just very revealing, and
that stuff just makes my eyes glaze over. Yeah. It's like
that was the mode of when that they were being designed, for sure. And as many people I'm sure on the team now that are currently working on it are not like that, hopefully. Of course, that's something that they're like, well, we need a sexy space babe. And
I mean, I get the blue sexy space babe trope and whatever, but like, wouldn't it have been more interesting to like do something, flip that on its head, or I don't know, just.
well, they tried that in a way with Cassandra, but not really. I mean, they tried it, and there are people that, like, I was listening to someone the other day who was like, yeah, I'm really into Cassandra, and I didn't think I would be. They thought they were going to romance Josephine, and I was like, yeah, well, I love Cassandra, but I've tried to, like, I used one of those mods that made her bisexual once, and I felt guilty, even though I shouldn't, but I did, and it was uncomfortable because I think as much as it would have been awesome, like, I love that she loves romance novels. I love her. I relate to Cassandra a lot. She's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
But they kind of, like, making her, in ways, I guess you could say, more masculine, and giving her, like, she's strong and all these things that are traditionally masculine that they gave to her, and they were like, well, we're gonna flip that trope, and she's not gonna be into ladies at all. And that was actually that was really disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they couldn't have. I think there would have obviously been people who were annoyed if she was just available for women. They would have been like, really? But I wouldn't have, because she's cute, and when you romance her, you feel like they're just, even though she's this woman who's extremely strong and has some traditionally masculine traits to her, although, I argue that she's fairly balanced in that, other than, oh, she has short hair, whatever. Her romance kind of compensated for that, in that it was very flowery. Like, if she's a goofy, flowery person, that's great, but it was just so, like, intensely, like, woo me. I was like, oh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't. I feel like you would be. I don't know. That didn't fit me, because I enjoy romances as much as she does. But if somebody was that, I couldn't imagine being that, like, you need to woo me and get me the candles. I'd be like, no, that's not what I need. Why don't you just, like, have a genuine feeling for me and express that? And that's what I need. I don't need you to get me candles and candy and flowers. Just be genuine, and that's it. So, I don't know. Flipping tropes. It's always a dangerous thing when people think they're so clever, and then they.
It's like, I mean, I know that they were like, okay, well, there's lots of Asari scientists and they're very philosophical and whatever, but the fact that, like, the initial design of them was so, like, based in the male gaze is just kind of gross to me. That's all. That's really what bothers me.
Wasn't there that quote about the Turians and how do you make a Turian? What do you give it, boobs? A female Turian, excuse me. And that, like, it's just, I don't know.
It's just a complete failure, because I feel like a lot of the time still BioWare, because I mean, they didn't think Garrus would be a romance. They were like, who would want to kiss him? And it's like, you clearly don't understand like what is attractive to people, like, especially if it's not within the male gaze.
He has just a wonderful voice, and I would want to be his best friend. And I think that was Garrus's thing, is like, he had the best voice acting for sure, and he was your friend, and there was a lot going on for Garrus, and it could have been with Tally, but
the fact that they recorded it and then didn't follow through is just.
Is that confirmed? Because there was some talk of the fact that the voice actress was like, I'm not doing this for, and I'm like, that's bullshit, because I think we have heard it, haven't we? I swear there was that footage I think I sent you of FemShep and Tally. I swear.
Yeah, I
or
think
somebody.
I think that eventually they just proved that the voice actress hadn't said anything against that. She'd been like, no.
Okay, good.
That's
good.
fine.
I believe so as well, because that's crazy, and I couldn't see that. But
well, I mean, she says all sorts of, like, even without the, like.
Let's not even talk about Jack and that whole, I just replayed it so I know it, that whole where she's like, oh, you mean with a guy or a girl, like boyfriend, girlfriend, and then she's straight or heterosexual. Yeah. And I'm like, excuse me.
Doesn't make any sense. What?
I get upset. I love Jack. I love her a lot.
I didn't want to kiss her, but I wanted other people to be able to kiss her.
I'll be real.
You know?
And I kind of, on a level, if Miranda had been not so given a lot of the dialogue options and story, I would have also wanted to kiss her too, because she's She's cool. She's smart.
I just wanted to kiss Tally, and they wouldn't let me.
I know. I tried too, and I pretended that I was, like, the whole time. To me, we're always together. We're together in our hearts, and we will never be apart. I even, for people who don't know of my Tumblr or my channel, I have a cat who's my soulmate, and her name is Tally Zora, but I call her Tally, obviously, and she's the best and the cutest baby in the whole world. And I just want to say that that's because when she was born, her eyes were like little alien eyes. She opened them 2 days ahead of our siblings, and I'm just gushing now, but the fact that she's like the sweetest cat in the world, other than she eats cords, but she like slept last night next to me on the pillow. So I'm just saying, Tally the cat is a lot like Tally the Quarian, and yeah,
true.
That's all I have to say. I love her.
She's a good cat.
You can't let me do a Tally episode. That would be like the Tally the character, not my cat, but because I would, and it would get intense, and people would be like, no.
I'm checking out.
But what if I volunteer to do a soulless one? Nobody will complain about that. No. But I can't talk about my Tally for an hour and a half. Whatever. Okay, the idea is that we're going to another galaxy. We're making another home. With, I'm assuming, the idea that this could probably go Reaper up real soon. So let's get out of here. Let's. They have 3 arcs, right? And then the Nexus. And we have a human arc. We have a Turian arc. And what's the other one? Solarian?
Yeah.
That's a
Asari,
Solarian,
Solarian, Turian, and then the main.
No, I think the Asari were
and
the
human,
Nexus.
duh. Oh, yeah. The Asari are on the Nexus? Yeah.
I think so. Listen, if we're wrong, don't tell us. It's better that way. So, and then the Nexus has like a bunch of other, we haven't confirmed how many. And then I think it's going to be a cool thing that for people, and a kind of a way that I respect integrating new players, is that there's that, what do they call it? It's a center. It was highlighted in the briefing video on MassEffect.com, where we can read about the Milky Way races. Do you know what I'm talking about? That place?
Oh, yeah, where you can like go
statues.
in.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome way to integrate it. And I kept hunting in that image for a Quarian, so I've hunted everywhere, but I just kept hunting.
I just really hope that they expand on the codex, because I'm still really mad about the codex being just
I will
shit.
say that I
shit.
wrote something about that somebody asked if it was going to be voiced, and he said no, but he said it's because it's too much text, and that is, I think he said it would be more expansive.
Good.
So that is a plus. So we're going to the new galaxy. We're going to keep humans going, woohoo humans, and other races. And we're gonna get there, and we're gonna find us some inhabitable planets, apparently. And I guess that doesn't go good. I guess that Sloane, at least, and if Sloane was on the Nexus, though, then that means that the Nexus got there much earlier than at least our arc.
Yeah,
you think?
I would think so.
So how long was my question? I think I already asked it, but I'm
guessing like 3 years or something.
Yeah, long enough that they did that. Long enough that stuff is not great at all.
Maybe 5. I don't think 10, because she still looks young.
I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell from her. I can't tell.
I say 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Yeah, that's reasonable. But I don't know. I mean, so they got there that early. Did something throw us off course? I once read a book that I think I shared with you where essentially it was kind of like this, but they proposed people, they propositioned people who were very poor to be the first to test this like new world and to take this journey. And these 2 sisters took this journey in this book. And something happens, of course. They get hit by like something in space. Who fucking knows? A space rock.
A space rock. Specifically.
Specifically, they got hit by a space rock, and the whole ship just basically, except for one section of it, which includes our main characters, of course, gets fucked up. And so they get thrown off route, and they end up on this lizard planet. And shit goes real fucking bad. But so I was thinking about that along the lines of, well, why is our arc arriving so much later? Maybe something happened with power. Maybe I don't know, but it definitely something happened because I don't think if they left at the same time, barring any event, that they would be getting there that far apart. That's a long time. So that's what I'm most looking forward to is that obviously the story and if they pull it off.
Yeah.
Because I want to believe it. I don't want it to be the most tragic thing in the world, but I don't know what's going to happen with Alec. That's a big mystery, Daddy Ryder. Well, thank you for coming on with us on this journey of talking about Mass Effect Andromeda. We went on for a long time, and I don't think we covered even most of what I feel like I had to talk about. I feel like we haven't been talking at all, which is weird. Like in my mind, it's like, we just started. What are you talking about? But
yeah, I feel bad having to pull back the reins, but otherwise we'll talk forever.
You have to rein me in because it's okay. Whatever. So we're looking forward to thinking of new, fun, more specific topics to talk about Mass Effect. We have a lot of ideas.
So many.
And yeah, we're
so many.
I think we've embraced eternity enough for today.
For sure. Well, I'm just glad that we got like the broad sort of like, and then we can eventually go into like the nitty gritty, get in there.
Like, for sure, we're gonna get on that romance specific.
Oh yes, I want to rank romances, and I want to talk about like specifically,
I want to think. Yeah, we can totally think up some like you said, from friend to lover, like some tropish ideas that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or just whatever we want, because it's our podcast.
Yep.
And we'll fuck up if we want to.
We'll fuck up if we want to.
I will.
That's our motto. It's fine.
Yeah. So this has been good, and if you subscribe to us, that would be great. If you don't, that's okay too.
I understand.
If you want to listen to us anywhere else, I think I'll have links for YouTube, and I don't know. iTunes is great though. Wherever you're listening, that's the best place. It's the best. You made the right choice. Insert. And I'm very proud of you. And I just want you to know that I love you.
You haven't earned my love yet. You have to work for it. Sorry.
Well, we'll do our social media, which I guess we have a Twitter. We were not able to get Embrace Eternity because, no offense to whoever has that, but like, what up? I don't know if they're using it, but we couldn't even get podcast after it.
Rude.
So we are Ginger and Red Hot at the Twitter handle, at Ginger and Red Hot on Twitter. My personal Twitter is elventempest. And I also have a YouTube channel if you enter elventempest, like the ship. That was before I had this before, okay? It's not Andromeda. Also, you can find me on Tumblr at thetempest.tumblr.com.
You can find me at glitterfangart and on Twitter, and then on Tumblr I'm glitterfang.tumblr.com. Glitterfang, like wolf fang, and glitter like the sparkly stuff.
Glitter is wonderful. And I guess I will end it by, let's think. I thought we could end it by like suggesting something that we're enjoying right now. Whether it's like a tea, a food, a color, I don't know, a TV show, a song.
No, I like that. That's a good plan.
Yeah. My plug is going to be Mass Effect 3. I'm literally plugging Mass Effect 3. Listen, if you're listening and you haven't played Mass Effect 3, that is a good game. Everyone, I know it's a little known game and we just didn't talk about it for a long time, but it's a good game, and that's my plug. Because, well, listen, I am playing it right now, and it's just the thing I could think of. I'm sorry. I'll get better. Oh, what I'm not gonna plug though is getting your cartilage pierced. This is my unplug.
This is my unplug.
Yeah, that's my unplug. We'll have a plug and an unplug. So go ahead, give me yours. I hope they're really good because mine were great.
They were really good. I'm gonna definitely. I'm not already playing ME3, by the way.
No, you're
definitely not.
You're the first one to take my advice.
Yeah, I am. Because I'm already doing it. Yep. Okay, so my plug is, if you haven't tried the Garrett Hawk tea on adagio.com or adagio.com. It's by Kara McGee. You should, because it's really, really good. It's like kind of smoky, and it has like chocolate chips and sprinkles in it, which does not sound like, at first I remember reading that and being like, do I want that? But it's so good. It's like a black tea. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And then the other thing I want to plug is a song that I've been listening to a bunch, which is, okay, if you want to have some like serious Sheppy feels, like crying in the car, you need to listen to...
No one wants
Yes, they do. They need it, because I have to deal with this. They should too. Okay, you want to listen to Monument by Royksop and Robin, because it will make you cry, and it will make you think of Shepherd. I'm unplugging. What's something I tried that was really gross?
Or you just hate. No bueno. No.
No bueno? Train. I hate Train. The band. I hate it. Don't listen to them.
Becca.
Burn their CDs.
Drops of Jupiter.
No.
Tell me. Would you sail across the sun? Would you make it to the Milky Way? Sorry.
Yeah.
Women is overrated. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head.
That's your punishment. That's your punishment.
I've seen Train, actually. I have seen them live at somewhere in New Jersey. I forget. Yeah. They were good. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was okay. I don't hate Train that much. You hate Train. I respect that. But anyway, that song is kind of Mass Effect-y. I'm just like minimally, but it is. It's about space. That's the extent of it.
I will not acknowledge or agree with that.
You're unplugging Train. Great.
Yep.
I will replug Train out of spite.
That's fine, I guess.
Yep. That's how I do everything, out of spite. That's why I'm doing this, out of spite. How are we going to end it then? We're going to be... Listen, kids. It's me, Grandma. If you ever wanted to go to space, you can't. I think I wear glasses, so I don't think you can go to space with glasses. We're going to have to Google check that. We're going to fact check that. Debbie, fact check that. But if you ever wanted to, this is the best you're going to get without actually going to space. I hear you barf a lot because of the spinning. That's all I'm saying. And I also hear you get nauseous in space.
0 out of 10
They don't show
stars.
that, right? Yeah, 0 out of 10. So kids, don't go to space. Play Mass Effect. Play it every day for 12 hours.
It's a really long time.
And then come back here and tell us how you feel.
Yeah.
Do you think you went to space? Okay.
You guys should, I feel like we should ask them to tweet us or do something. Like, tweet us who you romanced. Like,
yeah, for sure. Okay. Tweet us and tell us if you would romance an Elcor. Tweet us at Ginger and Red Hot, which I did not give myself that name. That's Ginger. I'm apparently Red Hot. Ginger and Red Hot like the candy.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
And, okay, so would you romance an Elcor? I saw someone who was somewhere online posting, hey, I want to romance an Elcor. What the hell? And I was like, hold on a minute. You want to romance an Elcor? Would you romance an Elcor? I think this is crazy. I don't know. Becca will tell you next time if she thinks it's crazy. This is our cliffhanger. The cliffhanger from this episode to the next episode is, would Becca romance an Elcor? Well, you have to listen next time to find out. Tell us at Ginger and Red Hot on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's it. Bye. Bye.
Bye.